Welcome back to Grotzod Plays Minecraft. Today, I'm doing a little bit of a special video for you guys. We're actually doing a building collaboration with Spartan Overdrive, which is another awesome Minecraft YouTuber. What we're doing is we are each building a building for the other player, and then they have to somehow integrate it into their build somehow, or into their world. In our case, we're going to be getting a build from him, and we're going to be finding a spot, and then we're going to make it orcified. And then I may destroy a whole bunch of resources because I'm using a structure block to put it into my world rather than building it. So we will figure out what we're going to do after that. But right now, I'm going to throw this over to Spartan, and he is going to show you what he's building.
Hey everybody, Spartan Overdrive here. Welcome to my Let's Build world. Today we're going to build a blacksmith. So let's get started. Now, since I'm making this for Grotzod to put in his world as well, I need to make sure that my build fits within this 32 by 32 square area so that it will import into the structure blocks accurately. And so that's why I went ahead and built this out. This is the area that I want to put it, which fits into my world pretty well. So now let's get started. My first step is to go ahead and get out a block palette, I guess you could call it. And when I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, which is usually most of the time when I'm getting started, I like to start off with a few options of cobble and stone brick along with spruce and oak. And I particularly like the oak log with the spruce planks. I think that goes really well together. This build, I feel like because it's a blacksmith, it's going to be dark because of the soot. I got out the coal blocks, as you can see, and I did a little research about this beforehand, and apparently most of the power it comes from charcoal, and so that's what we're going to be using. And because of that, I feel like there's going to be some soot and so forth on the wood and whatever else material we end up using. So I'm trying to find a darker color palette. I'm not really sure how to make the stones any darker, honestly, but the wood's pretty easy. We can just go to dark oak, which I don't usually use, but I think will work pretty good in this build. So we're going to give it a shot. I went ahead and got some clay out too, just in case we can make that work, because those are darker. And we'll see what else we come up with in just a moment. Whee! Whee! And if you wonder why it takes so long for me to record sometimes, by the way, this is the furnace that I've designed so far. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, but my process takes a lot of trial and error, so we're going to keep working and see what we come up with. The idea is we're going to have an open air area right here where we can do all of our hot work that makes us all sweaty and we don't need to be inside for. And then over on this side, we will have a structure of some sort that can either be living quarters for the blacksmith or maybe even his shop or something of that nature, which we will leave up to Grotzod when he gets it into his world. Well, we've got the exterior portion completed, and this is what we're ending up with so far. I did go ahead and use the dark oak, which I'm not still a huge fan of, but I think it's going to work out okay. And yeah, so what I've done here is, like I said, I did a little research, and there's apparently a history with blacksmithing and so forth, and all of these tools are tools that were used at one point in time, and a lot of them consecutively. So we've got the actual furnace area over here, and then we've got the I guess this would be the forge or the bloomery area where I think the first step would happen, and then second step would be over here, I believe, to refine it further. And then this is like a really heavy machinery which they would use to stamp down on the anvil, and it would provide tons and tons of force. And usually they did it with steam power, and I think before they did steam power they used water power, so they would have these next to rivers. But this isn't in that location, so what I thought we would do is create some kind of mechanical looking wheel here that would indicate you could hook up a horse or some animal that would pull this and cause your machine to work similar to the way that they intended to be used in real life. So I thought that might be a little bit fun. I've got some coal blocks in the ground and a pretty messy area since we've been working in here, I guess, in the game. And then we've got just a regular anvil here for, I guess, minor touch-ups and whatnot. And I put it out here because I thought, one, it cleared out this front to be able to walk back in there easily. And two, as passerbys walk through, they can see your armor and the different things that you're selling and making. And then here, it's kind of like you're showing off. You're like using your big muscles and hammering on stuff and kind of showing them what you're doing and what you're all about. I went ahead and added a little bit of color with the red nether brick back there. I think it looks all right. This is the first time I've actually used it. And then I everywhere I could, I used browns and these anvils and such to decorate, to get some darker colors in here. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I wanted it to be a little darker. So that's why I did that, because it was getting a little too gray with this big, huge smokestack here. And yeah, I think it's coming together okay. We've got a long ways to go with the rest of the build, but kind of wanted to update you guys and see where I am and why I did the things I did. Oh, and then back here, I figured this will be empty field area, and this is, you know, hay for the horse or whatever that's doing your work over here. And then we've got some raw resources here, and then we've got some refined resources here, and I feel like that just kind of brings a little bit of life to the build. So that's it for now, guys. We will be back with you in a moment if I can get unstuck from that block and show you what the next step is. Well, we're starting to get there. I like where it's headed, but it's just not quite there for me yet. This side looks pretty good, but when you go around to the rest of the house over here, it gets to be a little bit stale and a little bit boring. There's not a whole lot going on in my opinion. So we're going to change that up. I haven't textured the walls yet. That'll certainly help. I think I'm going to add some texture to the roof, and we'll see what we end up with. I did add this here. Everywhere I can, I like to add different layers, and whether that be in height going vertically or dimensionally this way by having this post stick out or what have you. I feel like the more dimensions you have, the more realistic it feels, and it almost gives a sense of motion in certain aspects. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents on the subject, but I'm going to work on it a little bit more and see if I can't get it to a point to where I'm satisfied with it. We'll see what we come up with. Alright, so we have finished tiling the roof to give it a little bit more of a lived-in look, as well as the other textures that we've provided. And I went ahead and added a workstation table here for them to use. I think that's that and the cauldron, about the only thing that I added in this area here. I went ahead and put in some signage, essentially, just as advertisement that this is a blacksmith shop. And same thing up here. And then what's next? Oh, we've got a basement area here. I have not finished detailing out the house because that's something that Grotzod, he's actually going to use this house, or blacksmith rather, and so we'll let him go ahead and do that. But we've given that beat up look everywhere, and I added this, and as well as this over here, because we don't want our iron to get wet, of course. And I've added that because honestly it just added a little bit extra that I needed. I was complaining a minute ago about it looking really plain and boring, and so I did that, added some little windows that you can see in the basement area there, just a few little details to give it a little bit more appealing look, and like I said, to make it feel a little more lived in. And that's it for this portion of the show. Back over to Grotzod, see what he does with it.
Thanks, Spartan. Now let's take a look at what you gave me. Let's quickly fly over here. I have placed it. It is an absolutely massive structure for my world because I'm building in a relatively tight-spaced canyon. I don't really want to put the blacksmith like way over there. I kind of want this to be farming and stuff, and I'd rather have the actual like things that I use or things that make sense in like the core of our Orkington village here. So I'm going to put the blacksmith here, and I've placed it, I think, the best I can. It's going to totally cut out a huge chunk of this mountainside, and we're going to have to repair all that. But yeah, I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work pretty well. We're just going to have to load it in and see how things work out for us. So, moment of truth. Here we go. And load. Looks very cool. Looks very cool. Just a lot of repairs I'm going to have to do. Yeah. Oh. I totally forgot to load with entities on. I can still do this. Okay, not too late. And include entities on. Okay, load again. Look at that. You can barely even tell anything changed. Except for down here, he has all his cool armor stands and all these other kind of cool stuff here, which is very rad. I totally want that. So I think fly. I think this is what we're going to go with. I'm going to have to clean up, and that's what we're going to do now. Clean up the edges here to make this so it's not just like a square box. And I think a large part of my time is going to be just integrating this building into this mountain. Okay, well, let me just knock out this structure block here. Oh god, I'm having some serious frame rate issues today. Okay, structure block is gone. I am now going to go jump into survival and get a bunch of supplies, because I have a ton of stone and dirt and stuff. And we are going to start integrating this building into the mountain, and then we're going to orcify some stuff. Probably going to change out this roof. Even though this roof looks beautiful, just, you know, we're kind of doing this red roof thing over here, so we're going to change this to a red roof as well. Give me 1 second, and I will be right back. So it looks like I have my work cut out for me. The first thing I can do, though, is I can totally use these furnaces to start cooking up some cobblestone. Oh, they're full. Oh, man, so rad. And they're full of charcoal. A texture I haven't done yet that I should probably do sooner rather than later, realistically. I hear a spider. Did he spawn spiders into my... Please tell me you didn't put spiders in my... Oh, there's a sheep in here. And there's also no torches in here, so we are gonna throw some torches in here. Because monsters are never fun. I totally hear spiders. I totally wonder if he put a spider spawner or something in the basement of this building. Let's find out. Hey. Hey, little spider dude. Oh, oh, you are not a friendly spider dude. Goodbye. Alright, I need to make some torches because I realized I don't have any right now. And why am I singing? I don't know. Let me just get these torches made. Oh god, so much work putting torches down. Yeah, let's light this up so we don't have monsters spawning down here, because that would be not so fun for me to have to come work down here, and then there's all kinds of monsters. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do, while we're back here, might as well talk about this. I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to have this entrance way to the basement either accessible from inside the house, or maybe we'll have it run out the side back there. I think that'd actually look better if it actually runs out the side back there. So we're going to do that. And for this entrance here, our options are either also have it run straight out so it comes out the side of the mountain, or finding a new home for it. And I think we're going to just find a new home for it. I think we're going to actually use this side, and we're literally going to copy what he did on that side, and we're going to put it over here. As much as I like all this is cool, I think it would just make more sense that the entrance to this building is, you know, kind of along this pathway here. So we're going to rip this out and put the entranceway on this side, and then we're going to put the entrance to the basement right down here. So we're actually, again, going to move this over to here, and then we're going to actually integrate it with the mountain a little bit. So I am going to probably time-lapse this. It's getting close to nighttime here. I'm going to time-lapse this, me ripping out all of this grass and making this so this actually blends properly, and then we're going to grab that stone and we're going to put in stone where it needs to be, and yeah. Okay, there is step 1 done. I might have to do some more cleaning up along here. I might actually have to shrink down this contraption thing of somewhat. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to rip out all these blocks of iron here, and then we're going to put in the new door. So, yeah, we can do that together a little bit here. I don't necessarily need to time-lapse this entire thing. I think that'd be a little bit boring for you guys. So let me actually, let me get rid of all this stuff prepped up, and then we'll actually come back and we'll put in this door. So while I was getting everything together to build that door, I needed to build some stone brick stairs, but there's no crafting table in this building or outside this building. Like, this is non-functional right now. I need to we need to fix this. Here, we're going to put it right beside this anvil so you can do your anviling and your crafting all at the same time. So this is where our door is going to live. Just kind of copying what he did on the other side. He had some logs that came up like this. And then he had a space, 2 spaces, then he had more logs. Same. What we're going to do is, because he's doing this kind of log pillar thing here, I think we're going to change all these out. Like, this looks cool in the build, but it doesn't feel blocky enough to really justify being orc-like. So we're going to change that up a little bit. So we can throw some stone brick. I have stone brick, or stone... Is it stone brick? Yeah, stone bricks. So I'm going to throw stone bricks in here. Did I run out of stone bricks already? Let me just make some more. And we'll go like this. Bam, bam, bam. More stone brick. And which... Is this the level the house is at? It is totally at this level. Okay. We're going to have to move these windows over, it looks like, as well. That's fine. That's easy to do. Just go like a this. And I can even reuse his building materials here to save me some time and energy. My inventory is absolutely full here of just stuff from ripping things out. Because I'm doing this all in survival. So everything I knock down comes back into my inventory rather than disappear. So that's, I guess, handy for me in some respects because I get a bunch of materials from it. But the other time I also kind of get my inventory all full up. Okay, let's go like this. Something that we're going to do, and this is, I was kind of thinking about this a little bit, is because it feels a little bit cheaty to me to basically be keeping a whole bunch of materials, especially because he, like, threw down a ton of, like, iron blocks everywhere. And I would totally happily take all that iron, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to put a bunch of it back into the build, we're going to find a new home for it, and then we're probably going to have to destroy the rest, just because, you know, we didn't really work for it, so I kind of feel a little cheaty for keeping it. And then we're also going to have to find a new home for this sign. I think I'm going to put it either right here or right up here, or maybe we could actually probably put it like right here. Actually, why don't we do that? Let's put it right on top of the forge. We'll do that afterwards. Though we're gonna finish up this little spot here. You are the wrong way, my friend. So like that. We'll just go quickly grab these doors if I have inventory space, which I do not. Yeah, I'm going to work on this for a bit, and when we come back, we will take a look at what I've done here to alter it, and I will also have already started working on all these things here, just because this video will take forever if I go through and manually show you guys every single thing I'm changing. So I'm going to do a whole bunch of work, and then we're going to come back, and I'm going to talk about all the things I made changes to, so we can talk about why I changed it. Okay, I will be back in a bit. Alright, I've finished it up, finally. This actually took quite a long time. Mostly because I completely replaced the roof with my red wool scheme I've got going on, and added some other kind of cool little bits up there, so it's not just solid red wool, it's kind of some broken up texture. Also shrunk down the bellows he built here, so it used to go all the way out to here, and it just kind of was making an awkward feeling along this way. I also placed the hay over here, so this is the fuel for the bellows. And as I said before, I didn't keep all the blocks. I replaced them all down in stacks over on this side, because, you know, we're not using this side anymore. So, oh, I just heard a zombie die. Interesting. Yeah. So the big one was the roof, and then moving this over to the side here. So I put the little signage thing back up here, and I put an entrance. This is our entrance into the downstairs. There's currently nothing down here. I'll actually show you. I didn't go through all the work of filling in this area back here, so it's there's actually a hole in the ceiling. I'll have to go fix that at some point. But yeah, it's kind of a a fake fix, because who knows, one day this might expand out or something, and instead of me redigging out all of the cobblestone or whatever I'd put in here, I just left it empty. I just filled in the top with dirt to make it so the mountain actually looks proper. And yeah, I think that's all. That's all that needs to happen. And the last thing we need to do is throw a sign up. I figured I'd put it over here. It's a little bit easier to see. I'll put it right here. So it needs to say Spartan Overdrive. And we'll even do what he did on the other side. EST.2016. So established 2016. Bam! So then we'll always remember this was a building from Spartan Overdrive. So yeah, that is going to be it for this build. Before we end the episode, let's do comment of the day. We have, I, for one, am a fan of your magic transitions. I hope they become a thing from Spartan Overdrive. Because we're already doing an episode of Spartan Overdrive, so might as well choose him as comment of the day. So he's talking about how I have this magical power where I can teleport without actually having to use like an ender pearl. So as long as we put down like a door, and let me just take a run at it, and if I time this correctly, I can seemingly appear somewhere else. I'm now on top of this mountain, looking down at the build we did today. So let's just sneak up here. So that looks kind of cool, eh? You know, it's a nice way of showing off the top of the roof, seeing so that's really what the change really was here. Everything else is basically still the same, so yeah, I think that worked out pretty well. I need to now get motivated to finish this thing. It's, well, it looks pretty sad in comparison to this guy over here, so give me some motivation now to actually finish up that. And you can see the other build I did that I sent him way over there. If you want to check out the other half of this series, by series I mean collaboration, you can go check out Spartan Overdrive's channel. If you click on the annotation up in the top right hand corner there, it'll take you over to his channel, or to his video even, and you can see more transitions just like this one, the magical door effect. Until next time, guys, let's just flip the camera here. Yeah, that's what we do. Until next time, thanks for watching, and don't forget, orcs rule!